Good morning, children. Today I am here with the explanation of power sharing. In the last video we studied how the power is shared in different countries and what is the importance of power sharing. Okay, so here what are the forms of power sharing? The idea of power sharing has emerged in opposition to the notion of undivided power sharing. Okay. For a long time, it was believed that power of a government must reside in one person or group. And why it was felt or believed was that they think that if the power to decide is dispersed, it would not be possible to take quick decision and enforce them. They believe that when power is divided among different hands, it will be difficult to take the decision in case of emergency. But these notions have changed with the emergence of democracy. One basic principle of democracy is that people are the source of all political power. In democracy, people rule themselves through institution of self-governance. Okay? And also in true democracy government, due respect is given to the diverse group and views that exist in the society. And everyone has a voice in shaping of public policies. Keeping in view all these points in view, power is shared among different groups. Okay. Now we will see how the power is shared in our country or commonly most of the countries. Okay. Power is shared among different organs of the government. Okay. Organs of the government, it is legislature, executive, and judiciary. These are the three organs of our government. Legislature makes the law, executive executes the law, and judiciary do the justice or provide the justice. Okay, and this is also termed as horizontal distribution of power. Okay, why this is called as or known as horizontal distribution? Because it allows different organs of government placed on same level, okay, to exercise different power. Here they all are placed in same level and exercise different power, and such separation also ensures that none of these can exercise unlimited power. Okay, and so they are known as horizontal distribution of power because they all are at the same level but execute different power. Okay, this is also known as check and balance system of power sharing because they check and balance each other. Here, for example, executives, they make the budget and it is passed by the legislature. Okay, and legislature makes the law and judiciary see that whether it comes under the constitution and it is valid. So these three, they check each other and balance each other. Okay, if one organ is exceeding its constitutional authority, then the other organ of government control it and check it. So this is also termed as check and balance system of power sharing. So when the power is divided among different organs of the government, that is also known as horizontal distribution of power, or it's also termed as check and balance system of power sharing. Okay, now we'll come to the next. Power is also shared among different levels of the government. Okay, different levels of the government. In our country, we are having 3 levels: central level, state level, and local level. Okay, when a general government for the entire country is there, we call it as a federal government. Okay, and when it is divided among different provincial, we call it as a state government. In our country, the third tier of government is also there, that is local government. That in towns and cities it is termed as municipal, and in villages it is termed as panchayat. Okay, so in our country, the power is also shared among different levels of the first level, that is highest, that is central, state and local, and this is known as vertical distribution of power, and it is also termed as federal division of power. Okay, the third level is power is also divided or shared among different social groups. Okay, social groups means religious group or linguistic group. The community government of Belgium is the best example of this, and also when the power is shared among the minority or the weaker section of the society, we call it as power is shared among different social groups here. Okay, in our country also we have shared the power, as we had kept the reserved constituency in assembly and the parliament of our country. Okay, 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women and the minority sections, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes and other backward classes. Okay, so there's this power, that means they are also given the power in the government. Okay, so power is also given shared among different social groups. When the power is divided or distributed among different religious or given to religious, linguistic, minority or weaker section, then we say that power is distributed among the social groups. Okay, and here this method is used to give minority community a fair share in the power. Okay, next comes here, power is shared among different political parties, pressure groups and movements. Okay, in our country the power is shared among political parties. Okay, these political parties, they contend the election and they won the election and they frame the government. Okay, so that means the power is shared among these political parties also. Okay, then such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. Okay, sometimes the parties, always we can see that earlier the Congress party was ruling, now the BJP is ruling over the central, but in the state if we'll say that we are having Congress at the state level. Okay, and these political parties, they represent different ideologies and social groups. Okay, and sometimes the power is also being found in the hands of certain interest group. Interest group means or pressure group. These are also known as pressure group. Okay, what they do, they create pressure, they influence their power to the government when there are some policies are against their interest group. Okay, so businessmen, industrialists, traders, farmers, industrial worker, they have their own group, and when some problems arises in their group, they influence the government to change the government policies. Trade union, we can say, is the most powerful pressure group of our country. Okay, those are working for the welfare of the employees here, then that they are also employees union. These all are the pressure groups. Chamber of Commerce, they are made for the businessmen, they are having a group. Same way industries, they are having the group. They do not participate in any political party, but they influence the government while making the policies on their decision making process. Okay, and this movements also, this Narmada Bachao Andolans, they also arises when some situations arises. These movements also, they influence the government on the decision making policies process, and such group also power is divided in our country, because they influence the government and bring influence on the decision making process of the government. Okay, so power is mainly shared among four particular forms. First is among different organs of the government, among different levels of the government, it is also shared among different social groups and among different political party, pressure group and movements. Then these are the four forms of power sharing which is adopted in our country. Okay, and your assignment is, what is meant by power sharing? What is meant by vertical division of power? Which system of power sharing is called checks and balance system, and why it is called as checks and balance system? Which form of power sharing is known as horizontal distribution of power sharing? Explain the different forms of power sharing adopted in India. Okay, so this is your assignment.